Okay, so now that we've done that and we've gone through the different deals, let's go to these graphs here, or tabs. These are your total pages, okay? These are broke down here. Again, here's your different categories across the top. What you spent on each category for each particular month. Uh, and you can scroll over here and you can see everything's broke down, and then what you spend on your parents. These are the totals for each particular month that you spent. So that one's fairly easy. You don't have to do anything on these tabs are all automatic, so you don't need to do anything. The one below here, the subcategory one, again, you don't have to do anything on this. This is a computation page for the graph you're going to see in a minute. So that's that one. Then you got your actual, just keeps track of the same thing. What your income was for each particular one. And then again, what your totals are, your expenses, and down here at the bottom, it's got your total expenses and what you're over and under for each month. And then here we got some graphs down below. Each month has your income, what you made on each one of your income, what your expenses were, and then a total that's down at the very bottom. So we don't need to go see that. And then another totals page is a little bit easier to read. Again, here's your main categories and what this is what it is year to date. I mean, I've got this pretty much filled out because I had to go through, with a million or so different cells and formulas and stuff in there. I went through and I populated this to make sure they were going to work all the way through. And then here's what your percentage of income is for each one. This is a good thing to do if down the road. If you don't, and then here's your income totals. And then this graph over here is the one that shows highest to lowest, which income brought in the most capital. And then down here, these are just, again, computation pages for the graphs we're going to get to in a minute. This one here, just your rankings. Okay, where did you spend the most money by category? And it's broke down, same thing with your subcategories. Highest to lowest. Well, we only got the top 30 in here because that's probably all you're going to need. And the vendor list, again, this is a good idea, to keep track of where you're spending your money. And which companies you visit most often. So let's go here now to the income graphs. And again, here, highest to lowest as far as your income goes. Got your total income by month. These are all of your incomes together. Again, broke down that way. And then each account is broke down for what you made for that particular month. And then the category graphs. And again, once you name these, if you change it to like parents, okay, that's option one. Okay, I can't change these. Same thing with the tabs down below. Once you change it here or your income, there are some limitations on Excel that you just can't change, and that's one of them. So you just have to remember that this one we changed to parents, so you just have to remember that. The other ones are all set, so there's no problem there. And then you have the vendor graphs. This is the total computation page for every one of them. They're all listed, and again, but then we have it broke down over here, which is probably a better graph, and again, it shows you the highest to the lowest spend on which particular vendor. And then you have the subcategory, same setup. All of them are listed on one page, and then this one's highest to lowest. So that's the different graphs and stuff that you can check on a regular basis. And that's it. I mean, the only other thing that, like I said, that you really need to do here is now your January cash flow. This is a master sheet. I forgot to mention that. This is your master sheet. So the starting amount you don't need to put in there because it's going to take the starting amounts for what you put in for January for each one of these other ones. So let's say this starting one here, we started say with $1,500 in the account one. Okay, so when you go here to the master cash flow, that's now going to show up as $1,500, and so that's the other one. And the other thing is, we renamed Wells Fargo. How come that didn't change? I forgot it was in a different deal here. Okay, so we did that on Wells Fargo, and then again, I can't change the tab names, but what it will do is it'll follow you through here on your different accounts, so it's going to show up as Wells Fargo, and then the rest of the tabs and stuff that are in there are just the same thing. I mean, January through. Everything that you put in is going to populate to the right particular deal. Just put in, you know, those 8 or 9 different things in there for your January actual, and you put them into the different accounts, and that's where they're going to go. So one other thing, I did put a couple other things in here. Again, here's the menu that you can see the different things here. A lot of people decided that they wanted these deals back again this year, so we put them in. So we have like the mortgage calculator. You can just put in your loan amount, what you think the appreciation is going to be, what your interest rate is and how long, and it'll give you the payment amount. Again, this thing here has a good other deal. If you really know what you're doing here, you can manually enter, and rather than just guessing what it's going to be for, you know, 20 years or 15 years or 30 years, you can manually input in what your appreciation is, and it's going to figure this out for you. So we have that. Now the other thing too on these deals, every one of these deals has if you get lost, no matter where you go on here, see this is, you know, now we're in May and it moved with you. Every one of these has a deal where you can always go back to the menu and go back to where you need to do where you were. And again, we've gone through all the different deals. Again, it's so easy to do because all you have to do is, once you name your things in the list and the income, is just enter the stuff in every day, and everything else is taken care of. So if you have any questions, get a hold of me, and I hope you have a good one.